Hello, and it's the Warpforge with another Arkham Files miniseries. Well, I say miniseries, it's another series. Like the Wonderland gang, we're going through an entire gang, an entire selection of models from that gang, and, well, we're going to go through, you've probably guessed it, the Crown Prince of Crime himself, the Joker. And so, with the Joker, we are going through the first one, the start set one, which is the Arkham Asylum / City variant of the Joker. Now, the reason why the Red Hood is next to the Arkham City variant of Joker is because he is an alternate sculpt. It literally says in his card, in brackets, Red Hood Ultimate Version. So, what can you do? Next to Alias of Joker. So he's exactly the same rules-wise, gameplay-wise. The only difference is a different model and a different alternate pose, alternate sculpt. And it, quite frankly, I think I've painted that one a lot more better than the Arkham City Joker. So without further ado, what we'll do is we'll talk about the strategies, about the synergies that you can pull off with the Joker. But to do that, we've got to go through the card first. So I'll go through the stat line, then I'll go through the traits. So stat line. He is Strength 4+, standard for a leader. He is Willpower 8, standard for a leader. He is Movement 2, standard for a leader. Attack and Defense 4, standard for a leader. Endurance 8, again, standard for a leader. And Plot Twist, Special 3, standard throughout the game. So, basically, a standard baseline to get you through the game. It's a starter set, but also supposedly tournament-wise one of the most efficient Jokers out there. So he's tough. He can get through. He can do what he wants. He's got the counters. He's got the counters to spend to keep himself safe and to go on the aggressive route. So we'll go through his personal traits now. Well, obviously I'll go through the little bit of saying what he is. His name's unknown, alias Joker, rank leader, affiliate Joker. He's the lead for the Joker gang. Add 2 and 2 together. It doesn't make Lurpak, does it? So, personal traits. Chaos Agent. So, in Batman, you've got 2 sets of coloured counters, usually ranging between 3 to 4 per player or per opponent. Usually it's between 2 players playing a standard mission. And that basically means that you get between 6 to 8 rounds depending on the mission. Now, what Joker does is, for the first part of this rule, is he removes 1 counter from your opponents. The reason why I say from your opponents is because you have 2 sets of different coloured counters. You put them in a bag, whatever, shuffle them around, pick a colour out. If the colour corresponds with your faction, and you get to choose whether to go first, second, and vice versa. Chaos Agent takes 1 away from your opponent. So that basically removes an entire turn out the game and removes more possibility of chance that your opponent's going to get the choice to go whether first or second. That is huge. That is one of the biggest things Joker does, synergetically wise, as a game-changing clown. He plays dirty. And it also intensifies the game with 1 less turn. You've got to make sure you get all to your objectives quickly and fast as possible. It really does intensify the game. He has his second part of Chaos Agent is, as you know, gameplay-wise, Batman is played with counters made from willpower. You assign them to your movement, attack, defense, and special stat lines. Place them around, and once usually you place them, they're set in stone. Now, when I say set in stone, it means you can't really ever change them, besides some rules. Chaos Agent is one of those rules. For all your friendly henchmen, they gain the Trickster trait, and Trickster basically allows you to, before you do any actions with the activated mini that you've declared, you get to rearrange the counters. Any amount just any amount before you do any actions. So if you've got like a guy very defensively in a defensive position, and you find that your opponent's models throughout the turn is in a more aggressive situation, or your model that isn't defensive realizes that he needs to be aggressive now later on in the turn, you can activate that mini. Before you do any actions, reallocate those counters to make them more aggressive, so put it on movement and attack, then throw them out there and start attacking things. That, again, is huge because this is what every henchman he has that is affiliated with the Joker gang. That is massive, absolutely massive. It keeps the gang, it keeps the gang as a whole from being very unpredictable. Your opponent doesn't know what's coming next. He's going to try and guess what happens next. If he does this, you will retaliate by using Trickster. And it's a really, really hard rule to get around when your opponent's playing against Joker. There's a reason why he's a clown prince of crime. So luck. There's a second trait. We'll go into luck. Luck, basically, when you spend special counters, you can reroll whatever dice for whatever reason. It says that in the rule book. That's massive. So you can reroll to move. So if you've rolled a movement dice and you've rolled 1, you can reroll that and you can potentially get a 6. That's an extra 6 centimeters of movement. That's massive. You can reroll to hit into damage because it says for whatever reason. So for those 40k players out there, hitting is hitting, damages is wounding, and when he's got a thing that damages on a 2-up, that's massive. That basically nearly negates having the possibility of chance. And you can also reroll, and you can also spend special to reroll to block. So if you've got Bane in your face or Deathstroke in your face and he hits a few times, you can block with up to 4 potential block dice, and if you fail any, you can reroll. And remember, you can reroll the same dice up to how many special you have in your special place. So if you've got 3 special counters, you can roll a dice. If you fail first time, spend a special, reroll. Fail second time, spend a special dice, reroll. If you fail the third time, spend another special dice, reroll, and you've got a success. That's massive. Now the downside is you're putting 3 willpower in special for that 1 dice. But 1 dice can make the difference, because in Batman, you don't have buckets of dice. You usually get like about 4, 6, 7. The most I've ever seen is probably 7 or 8 dice on 1 mini. But that's usually for like the really combat-y ones like Zaz or Deathstroke or Bane. Usually those types have like the higher dice amounts, or Batman usually have the highest dice amounts, but their special cases is being very expensive in rep. So Joker can do this up to henchmen or free agents, and he's going to laugh them off, he's going to bounce them off. Only the heaviest of hitters are capable of taking Joker down reliably on a one-on-one basis. This is how good Joker is. So that's a luck. His third trait is one shotgun. I'll go into that last because that's a long one to get through, and it's the second most game-changing aspect in your games of Batman Mitch's game when you're fighting with or against the Joker, or this variant. You have Poison Master. Now, to understand Poison Master, you've got to understand Poison. Poison basically means that if you get damaged by this model who has a poison weapon, then you get an effect that happens. It's either, in the case of Joker, you can either suffer 2 blood or Envenerating 3. Envenerating 3 basically takes off 3 counters of you this turn, and 2 blood is 2 direct blood damage closer to death for a miniature. Now, you can remove this effect of poison by rolling 2 dice and equal or lower your endurance. What Poison Master does is, for the poison model, so if you have a model poisoned by Joker here, you roll 3 dice and you discard the lowest result. If you are poisoned by his knife, which I'll go into in a bit later, that's big. That is huge. Overly huge. It's scary how huge that is. When it applies, when you get that crit effect, you're going to love it, your opponent's going to hate it. You have Total Vision. Total Vision basically means you can see in the dark. In Batman, again, usually play in the dark. You have a restricted line of sight. Total vision just basically means, naff that. I see in the dark. The Batman likes to play games. Oh, look, he's over there. Shoot him there. I can see him. Fine. He's on that building. He's on that ledge. So, yeah, total vision is harsh. And his last trait is Trickster. Trickster, as I've said with the henchman, Joker can reallocate his counters free of charge. As long as he doesn't do any actions beforehand, you activate the mini, before you make any actions, rearrange the counters, then do any actions. This keeps him being unpredictable. This keeps him from being really, really, really hard. Again, I told you, the personal traits are what makes the Joker. He is a dirty fighter. Now, the trait I haven't been into yet, which I'll go into now, is the one-shot gun. This is his second most game-changing trait, because basically what it is you spend half your willpower, you spend 2 attack counters and 2 special counters for this, you get a single dice. You automatically hit, and one-shot gun is classed as a ranged weapon now per the FAQ. What this does is your opponent, of your target, receives 1 automatic hit. They can use bodyguard, they can dodge this, whatever. They can do that now, because before apparently it was broken. I would agree and disagree, but that isn't the time for this now. We're talking about how to run them. So basically you receive 1 automatic hit, everything goes to plan, you're rolling for damage now. You're rolling 2 up for damage, and if you damage your target, then the target receives 3 blood damage. That's huge. But his collateral damage effect, if he rolls a 6 and has a successful damage, then he gets crit casualty. That basically means, for those who are into 40k, instant death. And there isn't like an Eternal Warrior sort of rule for Batman as of yet. So you could literally go up to the likes of Bane, full on Titan, one-shot gun, and kill them instantly. The amount of times I've played Scarecrow in intro games to let my opponent have Joker, they've played the one-shot gun and one-shot Jonathan Crane off the board is frightening. I have a firm belief that Knight's models have actually went and done some magical hex on this rule, because the amount of times I've used it, my opponents have used the one-shot gun and have always rolled a crit casualty every single time this gun's been used, is over the top. It always happens. It's funny and scary at the same time. But again, the possibility is there. You can go up to Killer Croc, 3 up to damage because of tough skin, and then roll 6, one-shot it off the board like that. You could go up to Ra's al Ghul or Deathstroke. You've already hit, so you don't really need to worry about the defense. Roll to damage, 2 up. Okay. Instant death. You can one-shot people, the hardest people like that, off the board. So that is magically scary. That, again, that is the second most game-changing aspect of Joker. So, we need to go into his rep and funding. Funding, $0. 90 reputation, though. So he's quite expensive. He's not 100 rep. He's quite costly for his what he does. But what he does pays off so much. Again, because of all these traits, this is why Joker is one of the most efficient gang leaders in Batman at the moment, or this variant, because he is the dirty fighter. He is Clown Prince of Crime. He doesn't care about any form of conventions or rules or gangster code. He does what he wants. He's an agent of chaos, quite literally. So what is his weapons? He has explosive teeth. This is his ranged weapon. He has blood and stun damage, rate of fire 1, ammunition 3, so you can fire it 3 times. It's a firearm, so 2 up to damage usually. Medium range, 40 centimeters, and always 40 centimeters because of total vision. So he's literally throwing them like Hail Marys everywhere. And remote control. So basically, remote control is, in short, remote control ignores ping. You need to see your target, apparently as usual, which is easy when you've got 40 centimeters of target and space. But you literally just throw a grenade, and, well, throw one of your chattering explosive teeth, and then your opponent doesn't get any cover saves, basically, or ping rolls, as it's known in Batman. So you just throw it, bang! That's hideously scary. An explosive. Now, this is the thing that makes it very good. It uses a small blast template, basically. It uses a round circular template, and in Batman, it's usually quite large against your opponent's stuff. So he does a lot of crowd control because of that. Because he has 2 points of damage, when he rolls to damage, he's taken willpower off of anything that he touches unless it's sturdy or desensitized. So he's a hard one. He's a hard brick. That's all I can really say about him. He has his melee weapon now, poison knife. 1 blood. No rate of fire, no ammo, because it's a melee weapon. It's special. It has sharp with crit poison. And as I talked about in Poison Master, he has toxic 2 blood, so at the end of every turn, basically, if the opponent hasn't recovered from poison, they'll be suffering 2 blood. And if you roll the crit, they immediately suffer 2 blood as well. So I could be wrong here, but I think that's potentially 4 blood in 1 turn. You crit, and then they have to take the endurance roll. And if they fail it, they suffer 2 blood. Or it could be the next time they activate, so I could be wrong on that. But regardless, toxic 2 blood is devastating. Or Invenerating 3. Now, if you're choosing Invenerating 3, that basically means that every turn your opponent's losing 3 counters. It makes them weaker to hit. So both are situational. If you've got a high target that you know your henchman's going to have trouble against, like Big Bane or Deathstroke or something, Invenerating 3 will be preferred because you weaken Deathstroke, and that means that he can do less. He has to make harder choices to either protect himself or go on more of the aggressor to try and take down Joker. Meanwhile, anything he does, it's going to make it easier for your henchman to go in and just clobber him with axes, knives, bats, chains, you name it, he has it. So that's quite hard, but against weaker targets like maybe the Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, Killer Frost, maybe the Arkham Knight could be considered. Nightwing? No, not Nightwing. But you get the picture. Some of the leaders like Black Mask and Two-Face. 2 blood might actually be better. So that's his melee weapon. Joker's, well, let's just see. Joker's synergy. He's a greedy leader. This variant of Joker is a greedy leader. And I say that because of Chaos Agent, and Chaos Agent confirmed Trickster towards henchmen. Batman plays a lot towards henchmen. It likes a lot of henchmen because the dynamic how it works out is if you take a lot of henchmen and your opponent takes Batman, it's literally straight from the comics. Batman sees a lot of henchmen, he pummels them, police go to arrest, he comes back, finds Joker, pummels him, kind of thing. Straight from the comics. Oh, that's very stereotypical of us to say such a thing, but people get it. It's a convention of a superhero comic like Batman. So, he's greedy. He wants lots of henchmen, and he wants it now. He likes having henchmen around him. Now, don't forget, leader status allows him to give Inspire, so for one special counter, he can give all his henchmen an extra counter that can go anywhere. So, again, play that around with Trickster, folds a load of, thrown around the counters everywhere. It's very, very, very scary how he does that. One-shot gun. He is an army Swiss knife. He is the beginner's choice because he can do a lot of things. Yes, he can't, apart from be overly aggressive, which I'll talk about in just a bit. He has the one-shot gun. I've played in tournaments of this Joker, and I've went up to Tom Hardy's Bane, which is the Dark Knight Rises Bane. I've just went with the one-shot gun and went, bang! Gone. Instantly. So I was slightly scared of it. Scared of him. Because he's a scary character, Bane, in combat. He can't play combat roles, but he does that, and he's got the range. He in the start set, you'll notice there's a lack of a proper range guy, because Joker is your range guy. He has the one-shot gun, and he has the grenades. He throws them everywhere. Joker is another ranged ability that you're getting for zero funding. That's a lot. That's huge. It's just so big. And he's an army Swiss knife. He gives you henchmen everything. Free agents you don't really want, or you don't really want anything outside of Joker's gang, because Joker's gang's got everything. You want to be spending that funding for more of your own stuff, more of your own upgrades, give more henchmen like distract, lessen the defenses of your opponents to go for more aggressive roles. It's seriously scary what Joker can pull off in this day and age, especially as the game evolves and adapts. Joker gets scarier and scarier and scarier. What is Joker? So we'll go on to how to really what is Joker's weaknesses, how to beat the Clown Prince of Crime. Well, the first option is you can be Batman. Okay, I had to throw that joke in, but yes, you can be Batman pummels face, and that leads us to the next role. Joker doesn't really like aggressive figures like Deathstroke or Bane, because he doesn't do well. He plays defensively massively well, but only for a turn, and then he has to rearrange the counters. If you focus, and I really mean, I've said focus in past Arkham Files on other people, but it's not half-hearted what I've said. It's just you can focus and still have room around to play with other characters. Joker, in this case, you need your whole gang. You need your whole gang focusing on Joker to take him down. You won't be able to do that easy, because Joker will be accompanied by Harley or Mr. Hammer or more henchmen. This Joker is so defensive. You can play that well. This is what makes the game, and I'm not saying this is a total end game thing for Joker. And I'm not saying Joker's OP. He's not. You can focus on him. Deathstroke, give him a few turns. You'll sap down Joker's willpower, and just due to sheer amount of volume of attacks will take Joker down. But it's not an easy game. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's just it's what the situation represents. Again, with Batman, it's not as simple as 40k, where it's just straight. You know when you're going to lose, and you know when you're going to win. Your opponent, in many tournaments that I've been to, you can literally pull dice out the bag, and I don't mean that in taking lead. You can turn the game around in one turn. Joker makes it very hard, but you can target Joker, focus on him, and that's all you got to do. I would also recommend maybe focusing on the henchmen, just peppering around with the willpower on the henchmen, lower them down so they can't do much, then go in for the aggressive roles. So that's another way. It's like in Hordes or War Machine back in the 2nd edition. You pepper down the big things, or the things, the many, and the leader becomes very weak. And that's the same for Joker. You take down his henchmen, you take down his sidekicks. If your opponent has any free agents, don't really focus on them, just move around them, or if the situation presents itself to get easy victory points, then take it, because you are going to want to focus on victory points and slowing Joker down. So that's how to really beat him. You slow him down with things that target willpower, strategies that target Joker to slow him down, because Batman, what I love about Batman is that it's not a straight out game of aggression, and it's not a straight out game of attrition. Some turns may be attrition and then it can just switch to aggression like that. Sometimes you might want to pull back and run away from your opponent, because it's easier to get victory points to win the game, to run away, rather than just go all out in aggression. Joker really makes not a random game, but a really intense, scary game. Joker's probably one of the most intensive leaders. This variant of Joker, anyway, is probably one of the most intensive leaders you're ever going to play against. And so, I think that's as much as I can say about the Clown Prince of Crime himself. Thank you for watching. Hopefully, if you want to see more about Joker's gang, I will be doing more Arkham Files on Joker's gang, on specific henchmen and stuff like that as well. If you like what you see and you want to see more Arkham Files, especially on Joker's gang, then please subscribe to the channel and keep updated with the Arkham Files, because I will be doing more Joker stuff. If you want to talk about anything that I've said about Joker in the description below, then please comment below, because I like talking to everyone about Batman. If you want to like and share or give advice for anyone out there who are using Joker's gang in this variant of leader, then please send it out. Send it out, get the word out there. Enjoy this video, for them to enjoy this video. So, thank you for watching. This is the Warp Forge, signing out. And remember, keep on forging.